Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CoffeeCast Amateur Attack. That is where we pull two completely random players out of chat that want to play, and we cast the games live. And occasionally, I will bring in a super cool guest caster that wants to come on and try his hand. We have a returning caster actually this time, AciesPure. How are you doing today, Pure?
I'm doing very well. Today was a great day.
I am glad. In this matchup, we are going to be having Takuah. That is a fun name to say. Takuah. Takuah spawning as the orange Protoss in the lower left-hand corner of MLG. Tal'Darim Altar, not Zelonka Karens, Tal'Darim Altar. And in the top right, we have a very, very often player, B, spawning as the blue Terran in the top right. I love Tal'Darim Altar. I'm just saying. How do you feel about it?
Well, in my opinion, I dislike Takuah Altar, mainly because of PvP, but that's just me.
Yes, Takuah Altar, one of the few maps left that you can still 4-gate on because this exit right here takes 2 force fields to block off. However, it does commonly gear up for a lot of good macro games, especially when you have cross positions like this. It should prove to be fairly interesting.
Yep, the macro game is highly encouraged with the closeness of the natural and the third, and the ability to easily defend. I mean, there's only 2 entrances total to your main to your third, so.
Yes, indeed. We do have a second barracks going down for B. Might be doing a little bit of pressure. I know that he does love to do his Marine Marauder stim concussive pushes in the early game. No gas yet either, actually. So that actually is not very indicative of that, I suppose.
We could be seeing a 2 barracks expand.
I think that would probably be the best option. B, I know, is a relatively decent player. It's really consistency that is his issue. Sometimes he can play amazing games. I've seen him take out a platinum player. He almost took out a diamond player once. Really just can't keep his game consistent. Takuah, I have never seen him play, and I did not get a chance to look up his stats. But, I mean, he's Protoss, and Protoss is just a fun race to play, so there you have it.
Yep. Double gas going down for B.
Yes, indeed, as well as that orbital command just finishing up. A lot of players now, I've noticed, have been opting for an early orbital command. It used to be very popular to start that at 16 supply, but a lot of the time now you will see a 14 supply orbital, or even a 13 I've seen, right as soon as an early barracks finishes up.
Well, that is the economic tool for turn, so might as well get the mule as fast as you can.
Yes, amen. Especially when Protoss obviously get to start using that chrono boost as soon as that first pylon is finished up. We do have a second gateway now on the way for Takuah, and really not too much going on. Making a stalker and a couple zealots, warp get on the way. No expansion yet from B, but we do have a tech lab down on one of those barracks. It should be interesting to see what we do see coming out of that. We should be seeing that at any moment now.
There is an SCV waiting at the natural, perhaps going to expand, pulling some minerals.
Oh, nobody's doing anything. Come on, you guys. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing those.
And he's at 400.
There we go. Okay.
There he is.
Okay, there we go. So we have the expansion down from B now. And those after those very intense, about, what, 15 seconds there?
Yeah, that's the high of the game right there.
No kidding. So that expansion is dropped. We have a reactor going down on the second racks. So now we have a tech lab and a reactor. Nothing being researched quite yet. Would expect to see that going up fairly shortly now. Meanwhile,
SCV was actually hidden in the Protoss base. Got a full scout of the Protoss base. He sees all 3 gateways.
And B is not happy about that. B is not happy at all. I mean, that's 3 exclamation marks. The only way we could have told if he was even unhappier is if there was a 1 preceding all of those exclamation marks. We do finally have the factory going down in the back of B's base here, and it looks like we do, yes, have a Nexus on the way for Takuah. Takuah heading that supply count, but that is not too big of a deal, except for the fact that he is 6 harvesters ahead. 24 to 18 harvesters right now in favor of the Protoss. That's not fun for the Terran player.
But I did see B cut some SCVs for a little while to expand there, so it's really kind of an argument who's more economically ahead. You can either make a lot of workers and then expand later, or make a few workers and expand quicker.
Oh yes, the great philosophical question. There's the Velociraptor for you. Somebody should make a meme of that. We do have the expansion now finished up for B, only about halfway done for Takuah. That meme is awful. I'm gonna be honest. That meme is awful.
Yeah, did you actually see the analyzation of that? The long claw of the Velociraptor is actually a toe.
Oh goodness, is it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. People look way too far into that. We do now have our second orbital command. The stuff we get to talk about here. My goodness. We do have our second orbital command now finished up, so that is double the mule power. The harvester count actually slipping even further away from B, now 29 to 22. That chrono boost, very nice to get that early economic boost in the game. But now we do have this second Nexus finished up, so that harvester count could go even further in favor of Takuah.
Income is actually favoring the Terran player by about 100 minerals right now.
Damn mules.
Yeah, mules bring that Terran back up. The robotics facility done for the Protoss player with a robotics bay and 2 more gateways, still producing probes.
So we are going to have a 5-gate robo. I've actually seen this a few times. Not the most powerful play versus Terran, especially right now since the trend is to do a lot of gateway play. However, you can never discount Colossus. I mean, it's a simple fact. You can't discount Colossus, especially versus Marines, which is all B has on the field right now.
Yep. Starting combat shield as well.
As well as
reactor is just done with that starport.
So it looks like we are going to be sticking with that biological play. I would like to point out over in Takuah's base, if B gets a drop off, there is what's called an Artosis pylon. This pylon is powering 5 gateways, a robo, and a robo bay, as well as a cyber. So if that one pylon gets picked off, Takuah may as well just walk home sobbing because he won't be able to do anything for a while there.
Stop all production for 30 seconds.
That would be absolutely awful.
That is all his structures on that single pylon. Every single one.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is a super pylon. That pylon is getting maximum amount of juice.
And B also did just scan that, so if he does a drop, and yep, there's a drop.
Yep, there's
Observer sees it though.
Yeah, well it depends. If he is looking at that point at the map at this point in time, I would assume he was because that observer was just flying into the main. The observer, however, was on a rally order. We do have a Twilight Council now being dropped for Takuah, so it looks like we are finally going to see some gateway tech going off of that. It will be interesting to see if we see Charge or Blink. I would assume Charge, if I would take a guess. Charge very popular versus Protoss, but
observer seeing that second medevac as well.
And it looks like B is looking at coming in at 2 different angles because we do have a medevac moving towards the 6 o'clock part of the base and one medevac moving towards the 9 o'clock. So
do you see a reaction? The stalkers are moving into the main, at least.
Yes. Okay, so there are 4 stalkers along the top, but no stalkers along the bottom. So B might be able to get a nice little pincer attack going on here. And these medevacs, one a little bit ahead of the other. I wonder if he might stop one to catch up, or if he's just going to force the army to be kind of caught in the middle awkwardly.
Well, I think that one at the northernmost drop is going to get denied with those stalkers, but the bottom one scouts that 3rd expansion, and he also has the opportunity to either kill the Twilight Council as stops charge, or just kill a crap ton of probes.
Yes.
Depends on which one he reacts to.
So the attack is now commencing. One drop does go down, and Takuah pulls his army down to deal with the first drop. The drop at the top of the base now going down. B has an open shot at taking out that Artosis pylon. This one drop is now cleaned up. All the Marines die inside that medevac, and it looks like Takuah with a great hold.
Seeing those Colossi, he just went up and ran away.
Exactly. Now that medevac, the top medevac did manage to get all of its Marines back in, and it now looks like Takuah wants to be a little bit aggressive. B only on 2 base. Takuah has already dropped his 3rd. Should be interesting to see what happens here.
But you see the Protoss moving out, and we are seeing some Marauder production from the Terran. He has 5 Marauders queued up, but he is supply blocked. And he doesn't even have stim. Just now starting stim at that tech lab. Just now starting
That
stim.
could be a big blunder from B, as he's going to need all the firepower he can get in this battle. Both players supply blocked for just a little bit there, but not too bad, as once again they were both supply blocked as equal. And Takuah looks like he's ready to push up that ramp.
Charge finishes just in time. However, the Zealots are in the back, and now they're engaging. The Terran army is just melting.
Yes, it is. Those force fields were fairly decent, actually, too, just stopping about half the army from retreating. Everything else was able to be picked off, and it looked like Takuah able to push up that ramp, and once again, just being able to decimate that entire Terran army. I don't really know if B has that much left, and now there's free reign towards that mineral line if Takuah so wishes.
So many zealots in there, and all he's got is bio. I don't see any way that B's going to hold this. Pulling SCVs, actually.
And losing every single last one of them. That is
Yeah.
not a good situation. I think B is pretty much out of it here because he has literally nothing left. He is down to 30 supply to 91 of Takuah. Even without a forward pylon, there is one a little bit out of position. It doesn't matter. Takuah just has too much.
We do see 40 workers killed by the Protoss player.
40 workers is a lot, and 40 workers, I would like to make note, is more than 21. And there's just the
No
leave.
GG.
No GG. That's all right. That's all right. At least he didn't cuss Takuah out or anything. There was a well-played game by Takuah, though, that showing that 5-gate Colossus is not exactly out of the running yet.
Especially when your opponent goes Mass Marines and then gets a really, really late stim.
Indeed. Indeed. AciesPure, thank you very much for joining me here on the Coffee Cast. I hope that I will have you back again whenever I cast again. It might be a little bit, but more on that later. Thank you for joining me. Are there any closing remarks you'd like to make?
Just thank you for the opportunity to cast. Shout out to anybody on Team Aces that's listening.
Okay.
Don't think that's anybody though. So.
Very well. Well, thank you very much once again. It was fun to have you, and you have a great night.